Go ahead. We're off you.
We're good? Everyone can hear all right? Okay. Good.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, good. You? Thank you.
Josh, I feel like you can go ahead.
Okay, I'll go for it. Greg, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it. Maybe a little bit of a sketchy first half for you guys. I don't know that you looked all too settled, maybe trying to rush things that we've seen this team sort of fit into that tempo early in a game. But these second halves seem to have become a habit for you guys. 3 goals in the second half, really sort of catapulting you guys towards that top spot in the West and clinching that. What did you say to the guys at halftime, and what did you see out of that second half?
Yeah, I felt like the press was really giving us a difficult time. I mean, I think we were in the spots that they were kind of expecting us to be in, and they were at times willing just to go man on man at times, and others, I think, based on our positioning, they were just very comfortable with where we're at. So, getting to halftime, the idea was to adjust some of our rotations so that we weren't showing up in such predictable places, and we felt like we knew how we could scramble that a little bit, for lack of better words, so that they would be in between things. And once we're in between things against a pressing team who's moving forward, then you can play through their lines, and then it becomes they're in big trouble. And so I thought we did a nice job in our movements in the second half. Mickey started a little wider and then came inside versus starting inside. There were just some really good actions where we were able to get ourselves facing forward, and then we found the guys in between the lines that then put the attacks into speed. And so and then some really good execution on some of those breaks where we were able to get in behind their pressure, and then also in some transitions. I mean, there was a couple more sitting there for us. I think of Dayon's off the top of my head, maybe 1 or 2 more that once where we missed Joe on a couple really good runs, and we hit the defender, or we just kind of missed him when I think he could have been in for 1 or 2. Really good, I think, by the guys taking what we talked about at halftime, just applying it and finding the solutions to the game, and then capitalizing on the moments. And then defensively in the second half, we kind of loaded up the back line a little bit and just kind of kept them really kind of in front of us as much as possible, and set ourselves up for some transitions, some breaks, and see if we could get as we did the third. Just really proud of the guys. This is not an easy place to play. They're a team that has had some success, obviously, through the course of the year. So just it's a great win for us, great win on the road, and now we're looking forward to going home for the weekend.
I know after 32 games, we've probably beat this topic to death, but Ricky Puig and what he's able to do for you guys in the center, and how he's able to create a lot of those transition moments for you and then finish them as well as he's been doing, the last, month, and even before that. I mean, he scored a ton of goals. Is there anything that we've missed talking about him?
No, I mean, he's, as you guys have seen, he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, at being able to pick up the ball and get himself facing forward, whether that is, sometimes we open it up so he can drop a little lower, pick it up, look through the lines, and then guys are finding him as he's moving forward, and now he's back on the ball, but on the other side of the midfield, and he's driving the attack in that way. So, and I think the commitment for him on those long attacks to then arrive into that secondary space for the cutback, or for, something to set him up, and getting himself into that box or the top of the box gives him those goal scoring chances that he was able to come up with. And I think part of the thing that's really helping him is the movement of the guys ahead of them are also creating some really difficult decisions for the defenders, and then Ricky's reading off of their decisions. Dayon made a great run that kind of froze the center back when Ricky cut back to the inside, and he just passes it into the post. So there was some really good movement by the group of them that I think also makes the decision making a little bit easier for Ricky. But obviously, what he's able to do in terms of changing the speed of the game and getting himself facing forward and now moving with the ball it's special, right? So we've seen that, and so we keep building on it. It's a risk reward for teams. If they want to press us and we find the solution, there's a lot of danger on the other side. If you want to sit low, right, then you run the risk of defending in a low block for long periods of time, and that's depending on what the game is and what the opposition is bringing to us, we've got to find the solutions. Today it took us at halftime to really find the solution, but we found it, and then we capitalized.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll go to Sophie next.
Hi, Greg. Great win and congratulations.
Thank you.
At the very start of the season, one of the first questions I asked you was how relaxed you seemed without all of the added and extra responsibility.
Nope, you cut out.
Yeah, at the start of the season, I asked you about kind of how relaxed you looked, and you talked about how you went to England and you took in some games at Spurs, Liverpool, and Arsenal, and with all of the added responsibility that you had to not have that on your shoulders, and kind of coming to the end of the regular season, it seems like you've enjoyed coaching this team more than any other season that you've had at LA Galaxy. Can you, kind of circling around, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think, I mean, we all know, and we've said it before, last year was just, for lack of it, was a shit show in many ways, just dealing with a lot of things, right? It was the perfect storm of events and challenges and everything else. And so the visit to England and just separating and getting away and not being here and not being around and going and watching games was just it was almost just to try to clear my mind, right, in many ways from things that was going on. And then the role sort of shift and getting out of some of the things that we were doing last year, I was doing last year, and just really kind of focusing on the team and our players and stuff. Just it made things. I'm in the office working with the coaches. I'm downstairs talking to players. I'm not up in this meeting and that meeting and everywhere else at the moment and talking about things that isn't necessarily about winning games. It's about other things now. I'm focused on that. So it's been nice just coaching. And it's a great group of players. We picked up the players in the off season that we've talked about that really fit into the style and the mode of things that we want to do. And then this whole season has just been trying to help mold and read our guys and mold them into the group that we feel can be the best group we can be, and hopefully a contender for championships, and hopefully we can close this thing out and win the West. And when you're winning, it makes everything better. That's the short answer. When you're winning, everything is better than when you're not. So, but things with this group are, it's nice. It's nice to work with these guys. They're hungry. They want to be successful, and they, as you see, we adapt a little bit at halftime. They take it on. They run with it. So when you have teams that are able to do that and be successful, it's fun to coach teams like that because you see some ideas come to fruition that you want to see. So it's been nice.
And this season, you've talked a lot about killing games off. And a couple of weeks ago, you also talked about closing out games and being able to close out games at this point in the season.
Yeah.
This was a brilliant example of that, winning on the road against a team that has been a bit tricky for LA Galaxy. Is that the message kind of going into these next few weeks, always be closing?
Yeah, it's really what we've been talking about since I've been talking with media, you guys all, and the same thing. It's just those end of the game sort of decisions, especially we did the work to get ourselves up 2-1. For us, it's a fine line between absorbing pressure and setting up our transition game, which I think is one of the best in the league, but making sure that we're committing to bogging things down and recovering balls on the defensive side and protecting ourselves, while also keeping guys in positions where they can really punish you when we get out of those situations and build speed and really get the third goal, which we were able to today. And the piece that I liked, once we got that third goal specifically, and I felt at times we rushed things, but when we got the third goal, there was just these long stretches of us really kind of just defending in possession. The opposition couldn't get close. It's demoralizing for them when they can't get the ball and they're down and they know they have to get the ball to score. And I thought we did a great job in stretches where we were defending and killing the game in possession, not having to do that, necessarily defending at the top of our box. And that's something as a group we have to take pride in, because I think that can be to be honest, I think it can be one of our greatest strengths defensively, is just keeping the ball away from the other team and forcing them to have to figure out how to get it. And we did a nice job of that in stretches tonight for sure.
Thank you, Greg. Safe travels.
All right, thank you. What? Anyone else?
Anybody else?
Alex, we can go to you. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Greg. Just wanted to ask you quickly. Looks like we won't be able to talk to you for the weekend game. Just on Marco's availability for Saturday.
He's day today right now, so I'll get an update as to what he kind of accomplished today on the field. We'll see what he gets through the next couple of days, and we'll make a decision going into the weekend. I'm not sure. What I will tell you is we're not going to push him into something that we don't need to push him into. That's for sure. On the other side of this, we have basically another international break, a match that then leads us into the playoffs. No matter what, he will absolutely be ready for Houston based on what's going on right now, because I'd say he's really day to day. So we'll see for Saturday, and just keep moving him forward. But I know he's on the field and he's doing stuff, so it'll just be kind of a day to day. Let's see how he's progresses over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Greg. Safe travels.
All right. You good, Rob? You good, or
Rob, you want to go ahead?
got his hand up?
I would absolutely love to. Hey, Greg, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on the win. You've spoken a lot this year about big occasions, the game against Inter Miami, the game against Chivas. How special is it for you to approach this home closer rather, with the prospect of the team virtually being on the cusp of clinching the number 1 seed in the West? How special is it to be able to perform in front of these fans? Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Look, I think it's great. We've got a great record, and we've performed well at home all year. As I said, that's a community thing. I think that's the fans and the environment and the atmosphere that's created in the stadium, and that's the guys coming out and doing the business on the field that also feeds back into that and gets the crowd excited and going. And because that relationship between the energy back and forth has been really good, I think we as a group have capitalized on that in terms of being at home. And our goal here is to close it out, the regular season in a positive way and give the fans that Western Conference that I know they would love to celebrate, especially after the challenges they also endured last year with the rest of us, and then see out the rest of the regular season, and then really lock it in. And with the way we've performed in the regular season, it ensures us a lot of home games as long as we can keep advancing in the playoffs, and that's also a tribute to them and the relationship on and off the field that we've been able to establish in the stadium. And so try to close it out the right way, and then look forward to playoff games at home in our stadium with our fans there. Good.
All right. As always, thank you so much, Greg.
All right.
Thank you, Greg.
Safe travels.
See you. Thank you.